Hey everyone, it's a beautiful, quiet autumn morning here at the ranch, and I got up extra early today to look at the garden and get the day started early. I wanted to take a look around. It's starting to get much cooler. Gotta wear a sweater every morning now, and a lot of the plants, especially our brassicas, are really loving it. So I wanted to take a look around the garden, see how everything was doing, and show you some things I'm doing to prepare for even cooler temperatures. So let's get to it. First things first, we're gonna release the chickens because they are so eager to get out. Hi everyone. Y'all ready? Let's do it. Here they go. Freedom. Out into the world they go. Just stay out my garden. Straight into the garden they go. While we're here with the chickens, I want to talk to you about what I'm doing in their diet to prepare them for the cooler temps. So let's take a closer look at their food. It is a base of 16% layer feed. I was sure to add more scratch than I would before, so things that are higher in oil and fat. I added some sunflower seeds. There's corn in there, oats, mealworms. And there's also some oyster shell in there to give their calcium an extra boost so that they have nice hard eggs. They've been really enjoying it so far. But really, since they free range now, they actually don't eat as much of their food as normal. So I actually don't have to replace their food nearly as often as I used to when they weren't free ranging. But hopefully this should help them really bulk up and get through the winter really nicely. All right, into the garden. So I was finally able to fence off our garlic because the chickens would love to get in there and scratch everything up. So now it's much more well protected and it's growing so fast. I was shocked. I thought garlic would have taken a while at least to get started, but they have definitely sprouted. Getting nice and big. I'm really interested to see how they do over the winter. But yeah, garlic is quite a commitment. You know, it takes like 8 to 9 months for garlic to grow. So hopefully next summer we have a beautiful and bountiful garlic harvest. Over here, oh, look at these marigolds. They're so pretty. I love the cooler light because it makes a lot of these warmer colors just pop so much more. Over here next to these marigolds, we have our eggplant, which surprisingly is still giving so prolifically. We have lots of beautiful eggplants still coming, and it's still flowering so much. There doesn't seem to be a frost in the forecast just yet, so I really think if we don't get a frost, our summer veggies can really keep going until Thanksgiving, hopefully. We have our Brussels sprouts. They took a bit of a beating because, you know, I really thought we wouldn't have a cabbage worm issue at this time of year, but that white little devil is still flying around and laying her eggs. And literally in one night, look at what cabbage worm can do to your brassicas. So I was sure to get this pesticide that's very specific. It's not even a pesticide. It's more of like a bacteria, I'd say, that's specific to cabbage worm. It doesn't harm any other bugs or insects. It's called Bacillus or Bacillus thuringiensis or BT. It's a bacteria that tricks the cabbage worm into thinking it's full so it doesn't eat, and eventually it just kind of starves itself. But ever since spraying that, I've noticed a lot less damage to these Brussels sprouts. But after it rains, I'm definitely sure to constantly reapplying it. I feel like over the summertime, I just got to a point where I kind of gave up because there was a week where it just rained so much and the cabbage worm was just getting so aggressive. And by that point, they had completely chewed up my Brussels sprouts. But I'm not giving up this season. We're gonna have Brussels sprouts. And it's starting to grow back much better. But if you don't notice that your leaves are getting chewed up. A good telling sign that you might have some cabbage worm is you notice there are little droppings around the leaves. Little green or brown spots everywhere. So it's a good indicator to check for some of that cabbage worm. But we will have Brussels sprouts. Wow, the perennial bed's still growing so strong. I love this Artemisia. In the cooler weather, it pops so much more, especially against the drying plants and flowers. I really love seeing that still deathly beauty with all the tan and brown tones coming in. It's really beautiful to see, you know, just how every season can be so beautiful. Wow. Over here we have our carrots. They're doing so well, looking so fluffy. They're really, really happy. And so is our Mizuna. Oh my gosh, I wish I could grow Mizuna every season. It has quickly become one of my favorite things to use in the kitchen. I love it so much. I think it might almost be time to harvest some of these carrots, actually. They're getting really, really big. They have a really thick base too. Well, that'll be a fun harvest. There's quite an assortment of colors here. I think we have some orange, red, and black carrots in the center, so it should be a really fun harvest. Over here we have our beets still going so strong. You can actually see one of them growing out the base here. It's probably ready to harvest, but I want to let it grow and see just how big it can get. We have our kohlrabi also doing super well. Finally, this middle one is taken off. We got some weeds growing up in here. I've been kind of lazy on the weeding, honestly. But everything seems to be doing well with them, so once in a blue moon I come in and I pluck some weeds. But there's just so many, it's hard to upkeep it all with everything else we have going on here at the ranch right now. But it doesn't seem to be holding back this kohlrabi. I wonder when it's going to start growing its bulbous form. It seems to be getting a little thick there now. But excited to see how it looks. Our first time growing kohlrabi. This brassica bed is doing super nice. A lot of things have finally started to take off, like this broccoli here. There was a cabbage worm scare, but I sprayed a whole bunch of BT on everything, so things seem to be doing much better. Wow, we have this giant Chinese broccoli just thriving. Definitely the biggest one in here. Oh, I'm so sad. Look at what that cabbage worm did to my poor Chinese broccoli. Let's see. I actually think might be sprouting. Oh yeah, we got a little sprout in there. We should have some Chinese broccoli coming soon. Beautiful. Oh, we got the chicken brigade. What y'all ladies want? Huh? Excuse me. Out! Out, 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 out! Choo, choo, choo! Get! Hey, Mo. He likes to lead the packs into these beds. They've actually been pretty good. Oh, just kidding. Excuse me, ma'am. Let's go. Shoo, 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 shoo. I mean, honestly, they've been kind of good. Like, they haven't been scratching up this bed. I was really surprised because I thought they would eat up these peonies, but they seem to be keeping their distance. It's really nice that they free range, so they have a lot of other spaces to ravage other than the garden. But we're still talking about building a really nice fence around the actual garden to make sure the chickens definitely don't get up in here. Because sometimes they get bold, like this hand right here. Excuse me. Shoo! Shoo, 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 shoo! Out! Out, 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 out! She's like, what's happening? Let's go. Let's go. Thank you. Goodness. Wow. Wow. Wow, that morning light is beautiful. Wow, guys, look at these beans. I'm so pleasantly surprised by the beans. I can't believe they're growing so beautifully this deep into fall. And they're vining so nice up this trellis, getting nice and tall, flowering. We're gonna have a nice fall bean harvest. Then over here we have our first bed of brassicas, which are very far along. Look at this broccoli, like overnight exploded. That is so ready to harvest, but I want to wait. I want to see how big we can actually get it. But really, whenever we want, they are definitely ready to start plucking. I'm so happy I caught the cabbage worm when I did, because we wouldn't have any broccoli right now. Then we have a little second wave of broccoli coming in. It's gonna be a nice, abundant harvest. Kale's coming in so nicely, looking beautiful next to the marigolds. Wow. Abundance. Oh, here we go. So this actually still has some of those little cabbage worm droppings. But you'll notice these little spots on your brassicas if you have cabbage worm. Let's see if we have anything on there. I did spray this with BT. And they usually go after any kind of brassica. Kale, broccoli, cabbage, Brussels sprouts. So be really attentive to your brassicas. But there doesn't seem to be anything on there. Those are just some old drop-ins. Good. So hopefully we should see some new growth on that soon. But they are loving it. Hi, ladies. Hello. Oh, ooh, fluffing up. Wow, the Malabar spinach is still looking so beautiful. Really whimsical. A very whimsical plant. I think next year we're gonna grow it just as an ornamental. I personally haven't really enjoyed using it in the kitchen. It's really slimy and has a really earthy taste. It has its moments, but we don't really use it that much. And there's so much of it, we just can't get through all this Malabar spinach. But I think it would look really pretty growing up along the arch. It would fill in so beautifully. And then we have our sorrel in the center, which is a beautiful, beautiful plant. I love snacking on it throughout the day. It has a beautiful zingy zest to it. Very tangy. And it's actually a perennial, so I'm curious to see how it actually overwinters. I think in a few weeks we're actually going to prepare most of our beds to really get through the winter. So we're going to be laying nice layers of compost and just letting them fallow for the season. But we're still a few weeks away from that. Oh goodness, again, like these summer veggies are so surprising. They're still going so strong. We have this pepper still flowering abundantly, still giving us so much fruit. Look at this. Wow. Really, it's incredible to see just how long the growing seasons really last here in Tennessee. It's such a blessing. Wow. Keep going, babies. I'll keep eating. I'll keep eating. Same with our tomatoes. Now I noticed a lot of the leaves are starting to dry and blight a bit, which is fine. We still have these fruit on here, plenty of fruit still ripening. I actually had a friend tell me that with ripening, if you have an issue with them not ripening, it might be a lack of magnesium. So she recommended using Epsom salt to give them a nice boost. So that's exactly what I did. I went through and sprinkled some Epsom salt at the base of the plants, and I have noticed a change. Like you can see, a lot of the plants are starting to blush and the fruits are ripening. But what I've been doing, just in case like oh wow, that's beautiful. They don't make it out here in the cold. As soon as they blush, I've been cutting them and putting them in the windowsill, and they've been ripening really, really well there. And we've had a lot of tomatoes to use in the kitchen. But yeah, magnesium, Epsom salt. If you have a ripening issue, it seems to be very helpful. Oh boy, now we have our Swiss chard making a beautiful comeback after being ravaged by our chickens. They're getting nice and big again. Oh, so exciting. I love using Swiss chard in the kitchen. And it's also another perennial, so I'm eager to see just how it overwinters. But I would love for this to keep coming back. Wow. And then we had this peach tree in the center. Oh, okay, Mo. All right. We had this peach tree in the center that actually blew and snapped right in half after a storm. And we have all these fresh sprouts coming out of it. Not really sure what we're gonna do with it just yet. Once it goes dormant, we'll really be able to decide what we're gonna do with some of these trees. Ideally, I would like to have a tree here because Swiss chard would really like some shade, especially in that scorching summer heat. I did notice them growing better when they were under the shade of the trees. So hopefully we get something in here again. Oh, wow, we have some beautiful David Austin roses blossoming and coming to life. They smell so beautiful. Oh man. And again, I'm very excited to see how the garden does over winter. Get those beautiful tans and browns, those really cool vibrant greens in there. It's gonna be so beautiful. I can't wait. And honestly, I'm not usually a fan of winter, but ever since gardening, it's really inspired me to enjoy winter. Because in the garden, it just kind of inspires me to try to find the beauty in everything, in every season. And the garden really allows you to do that, so winter will actually be glorious. Wow. Hello. Hi. Hello. My little excavators. Man. I sure love you gals so much. Hi. Look at this clary sage coming through beautifully. The herb garden is really coming to life now. Sadly, our ornamental kale was pecked to death by our chickens, but it still looks kind of cool. Adds a nice color still. Ew. Alright, this is a little gross, y'all, but our cats have a tendency to leave us little gifts. Here we have a beheaded mouse right there. Chloe, please stay out of that. I don't want you messing with it. I'm actually gonna get it. I'm actually gonna go bury this because I don't want it just lying around, because I've noticed this isn't the first time, and I've noticed the chickens pecking at them sometimes, and we don't need that. No, don't want that. Wow. So beautiful. I like getting up really early and just walking through the garden and really meditating and allowing yourself to have those still moments of calm and peace as the day starts. Really gives you a nice calm momentum for the day. And you start really nice and grounded. Wow. I know it's a crazy time in the world, but I can't help but feel grateful to be living this life, to be able to share it with all of you. Wow. Another thing I'm really looking forward to in the fall is all of the leaves for the compost. It's compost season, everyone, and there is so much to add to the compost this year. I'm very excited for that. It'll give everything a really nice boost. So real quick before signing off, I wanted to talk to you guys about the holiday pre-order that we're going to be having for our candles. It's going to start on November 1st and it's going to go all the way through November 7th. So you have a full week to do your holiday shopping to help ease the stress of the actual holiday season when it comes about. I thought it would be a really nice way to help get you guys your holiday gifts ahead of time so that you can gracefully ease into the holiday season. It should be pretty straightforward. I'm going to have things on the website clearly labeled as pre-order items. You can place as many orders as you want, and at the end of day on November 7th, I will know exactly how much I will need to make so that everyone has their gifts to be able to give to their loved ones this holiday season. I should have everything done by the end of November and shipped out so that by beginning of December, everyone will have everything to prepare for their holiday. But with that, I am going to sign off. I actually want to start collecting some of these leaves to add to the compost. I want to get a nice head start on that because I actually have to flip it soon. But with that, I'm going to leave y'all here. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video and that it helped bring some joy to the start of your day. Brian here at the French. Take care, everyone. I'm sending you all so much love and light.